With so much software and so many services available in the short-term rental industry these days, it's increasingly difficult to keep up to date with what's on the market and to determine whether it's a maybe or a must-have for you and your business. So meet one provider each week in a short interview, learning what they do and what they offer. So if you have around 20 minutes to spare, it could prove to be a very good investment to stick around. So let's see who and what is out there, one by one, with me, Deborah Larby, also known as the Guest Inspector. Hello everyone and welcome to the Tech-Explained Startup Series. Our industry is a 24/7 kind of industry. Inquiries, messages from guests, issues at properties, they come in at all hours. And as we know, when there is a message or a problem, we need to jump ASAP. But we also need our beauty sleep. Sure, we can have staff all over the globe, but there is one new player in the industry that doesn't need their beauty sleep. No sleep required at all, in fact. And we're only going to hear more and more from this player. Yes, I'm talking about AI, and today I'm chatting with Q, who will explain what Dharma AI can do for you. Hello, Q. How are you?
Hello. Hey, Deborah. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you very much for joining me today. Q, I always start these episodes with a one-sentence explanation. In one sentence, what does Dharma or Dharma AI, I'll clarify that in a minute, what does it do?
Yeah, so we provide a operations platform designed for your back of the office staff, so we can simplify their lives and help them really focus on making your guest experience, the experience of your guest, amazing.
Great. Okay. So is it Dharma or Dharma AI? Let's clarify that.
It's Dharma.
Dharma
AI is one of our services.
Okay. Well, we're going to find out about all of them now.
Yeah.
So I'm a property manager. I'm curious. I want to start using your product. How do I go about it? At what point does your product fit in with my tech stack?
Yeah, so our product is for use after your PMS. So we integrate into your PMS and we import a lot of your information from your PMS, and then we build on that information to provide better information for your employees and also for your guest.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's say, okay, we're plugged in. Was it an easy connection, one click kind of thing? Is it quick?
Right. Yeah, it's an easy connection. Some features require the connection, some features require a little bit less.
Mm-hmm.
So if we start off with like the AI part, it doesn't really require that much of a connection, because how we've configured our AI is we have a knowledge base as one of our service offerings in our operations platform. And there's actually two kind of key components to the knowledge base. One component is for it to have all the information about all of your properties in one place. So if you have any new employees, or if you have any employees that need new information about your buildings that have come up, then they can easily kind of search for that information. And then the other side of this knowledge base is so we can actually use that information for AI. So we have our AI that can go into your knowledge base, and it can be an additional help tool, a companion to your employees so they can easily find the information that they need. Or it can just be kind of a standalone product that you put guest facing, where if a guest has any questions or queries about your business, your properties, any policies like cancellations or modifications or whatever questions they might have, the AI can kind of use that information from the knowledge base to answer those questions.
Okay, we're jumping the gun a bit. I just want to connect. I just want to connect. Sure. So as a property manager, let's say I'm not that tech savvy, is it easy to connect? With my with my PMS, is it easy to connect you to my PMS?
Yes.
Okay. So then I move on to, after I get a booking in, I have to look at your dashboard. That's where everything's going to happen from now on, right?
For customer service, yes.
Okay. So that includes like automated emails?
Yes. So we have so what we have is we have a unified messaging section of our platform. So you can have your emails all come in this one place, any WhatsApp messages, Facebook, SMS, and then on select PMSs, we also kind of work through getting your OTA messages as well. So you can have one space where you can see all your reservations and answer guest queries.
So you actually, with this unified inbox, it's actually with WhatsApp and Messenger as well.
That's correct.
Oh, okay. That's very interesting. Okay. So then, okay, I got a booking and a guest asked about early check-in. So the guest just, what does the guest see? I mean, if the guest is sending a message, let's say from Airbnb or from our own website, it still comes in through to the unified inbox on Dharma, on the Dharma dashboard.
Right. So we've tried to make it as seamless for the guests as possible. So they will just see where they're messaging us from. So if they're messaging from Airbnb, they'll just stay on Airbnb. If they're messaging us on our website or if they're messaging us through WhatsApp, they'll just be in that channel that they've initiated their conversation in. So no additional apps that they need to install or any hoops that they need to jump through to get a response from us.
Okay. So this database, this knowledge base, that is going to be all of my own properties information. And that's almost like the guidebook, the how-tos, when does the garbage go out, all of the information about the property will be in this database?
That's correct.
And how do you get that? Is that just from pulling information from the PMS and from the listings and that sort of thing, and it already starts to form this database?
At this current point in time, it can't pull too much information from the PMSs. We've only just did like a limited connection for the other parts of the ops platform. So at this current point in time, when we onboard you, we help kind of go through a bunch of questionnaires and we help create a set of articles that we think kind of fit your business and will be like a base foundation for answering all of your questions.
Okay. And that database is what then the AI is going to pull the information from to answer the guest questions.
Yep, that is correct.
So let's say I believe you have two choices: the automated and the semi-automated. So if a guest asks a question, let's say they want an early check-in. Can the AI have a look and see that there is someone in the night before, and so an early check-in is not possible? Can it do that by itself?
We're working on that.
Okay.
So at this current point in time, it only reads off answers from the knowledge base article. So it just kind of sets your standard policy. But we're continuously evolving our AI to, it's going to look at reservations, it's going to look at previous guest messages, and we're working on kind of adding a lot more features into the AI itself.
Yeah. And I saw on your website that there's dynamic pricing. So this is all happening though on the PMS side of things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Now, fully automated, sophisticated conversations. So does AI detect the tone of the tone of the guest? Is that what you mean by sophisticated conversations?
Right. So there's kind of two kind of things about that. The first one is we have like an escalation process where the AI always looks over your kind of message history and the most recent responses and the previous responses. And if it finds that someone is unhappy or something is not going right, it kind of just escalates you to a real person. So you don't have to, so that your guest doesn't have to be unhappy talking to an AI forever. Because we heard that's the worst thing that can happen. And everyone complains about all these IVR bots that are currently kind of keeping you in the loop and not really bringing to a human agent. So we wanted to kind of get rid of that. If they want to talk to a human and we have an analysis run on the conversation, we can actually just boost them right up to a human.
Yeah, good. That's what I usually do. When they say, what is your concern or what do you need? I was like, speak to a human, speak to someone. And I'll type it over and over until he gets it. Oh dear. Okay. So now registering issues. So for example, if the guest messages and says our toilet is blocked, for example, what does the AI do with that information?
Yeah. So what the AI tries to do is the first kind of line of defense is it tries to help the guests kind of power through the problems that they're having. So it'll try to look into the knowledge base and see if there's any articles about helping you unclog the toilet or any of those kind of issues. And then once it gets to a point where it deems that this is not something that the guest can handle by themselves and it needs to be escalated, It will help the user guide. It will help guide the user in creating a user ticket for the platform. So it'll ask, hey, if it knows your name and your reservation already, it already knows where you're staying, so it doesn't ask that part. But any information it doesn't have, right? Like what the problem is. Do you have any clarifying information of like the toilet is clogged, but do you have any supporting evidence, or do you have any additional information that you want to provide? And then it takes all of that information and then it packages that into a ticket for the guest.
All right. But where does that go? That just goes straight to the property manager. Here, we've got an issue in, deal with it.
Yes, it goes straight into our operations platform. So the beauty of the operations platform is for customer service agents to kind of live there. And anytime a guest messages and they want to talk to a real human, they can talk to that person and respond to that person on the ops platform. Anytime a new ticket comes in, you can view that ticket inside of our ops platform as well.
Okay. So this is like task management, block toilet in, apartment 304. Then as it gets repaired, does that stay on the record of apartment 304? Does owner of apartment 304, if there's another blockage, will they know that, hey, only 6 months ago it was unblocked? Will there be a history? Okay.
Yes. So our issues platform kind of tracks. That's the whole purpose of that system, which is to track where it happened, when it happened. And we also kind of attach the reservations in. That's why we want the PMS data. So we also can find out who it has happened for. So if that guest is a returning guest, then we can say, hey, this person had a problem X amount of months ago. We want to make sure that this guest doesn't experience the same problem over.
Oh, wow.
The next time they come.
Or that they made the same, or they made the same problem again.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So you can track the issues, the problems that are coming up. You can track it by units, and you can also track it by the guests and their reservations.
Whoa. Okay. Interesting. Now, this operations part of the platform, the operations platform, housekeeping. How does that work on your platform?
Yeah. So in our platform, we have issues and work orders as two separate items. So when we talked about tickets that we're generating for clogged toilets and stuff, that would go into the issues. And those are long-standing, and there's no dates really attached to those issues. So you don't need to fix it today if an issue comes out today, right? Because sometimes you can't fix it today, realistically. And that's where our work order system comes in, and that's where the housekeeping comes in too. So anytime we have a problem or any event that we know that we can fix on a particular day, that's when it goes into the work order system. So housekeeping, we know it will happen when a guest checks out, or if they have a periodic cleaning, we know that it's going to happen every 2 weeks if they're having a long-term stay. Then you can say, all right, on December 5th, we're having a cleaning. And that's kind of goes into the work order. And those are assigned to individual cleaners if you have them in your system. And then they can view the tasks that they need to perform on a weekly basis in one easy to see dashboard.
Okay. So the work gets done while the cleaners were in the property. It gets scheduled for that. Right. And do you keep tabs on the cleaners and the jobs that they're doing?
Right. So we can run reports on the work. So we can run the reports by individual people or by building. So you can see how many work is being done per building or how many work is being done per employee in a sense. So you have a lot of items you can pick in the matrix to actually populate your reports. Yeah.
Okay. Now, with this database, you did actually cover an interesting point about the staff onboarding. When you've got all the information about all the properties or all the buildings, and it's all in the one spot, it's a great way to, when you're welcoming new staff, to get them familiar with, all of the properties that they'll have to be dealing with.
Right.
Very good. Okay. Moving right along. What would you say is your unique selling point?
So I think our unique selling point is that this is a platform really designed for your employees and to make their life easier and also to just help them onboard into your operations so they know exactly what's going on and they can really provide great customer service to your guests by having all the knowledge available to them in one place.
Yeah. I'm going to jump ahead now and I'm going to ask you, what is the ideal company size that you're looking at for this kind of software then, this platform?
For our platform, we're looking for property managers that have around 50 or more properties.
Yeah.
So we've kind of identified that at around 50 properties, that's when you're getting a lot more employees. Sometimes there are turnover, and that's when you actually have a big enough property portfolio where you need all of your information stored in one place.
Yeah. Yeah. With all the task managements and things like that. Yeah. It gets a bit out
Right.
of control. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. 50 plus properties. And whereabouts would they be located? I mean, given that it's software it can be global, right?
Yeah. So our primary focus is the US market
Mm-hmm.
and slightly the European market at this current moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're a little bit more focused on the US side. That's where we've been actively trying to get new customers at this current point in time.
Yeah.
I think we're starting our sales operations in Europe soon as well.
Yeah. So looking at it from that big company point of view, then you've got all your staff answering inquiries, problems at properties, things like that. So this is going to save them time answering questions. It's going to save them time creating these tickets because it's going to happen through the AI straight away and come into the system that way. So basically, the question is, why would I use your product? It's to save time with staff.
Right. Our primary focus is to save time with staff and to really give them back their time so they can focus on things that really make the guest experience exceptional. So
Yeah.
they don't have to be answering the same question 50 times a day. They can really be focusing on really solving specific guest problems that are not frequent, right? And can't be really scripted.
Yeah. I think it was on your website or it was in our discussion, we were talking about the guest profile. The AI seems to get their head around the guest profile. What does it get from the guest? Or what sort of information can it get from the guest from their booking and anything else that may come up in the operation platform?
Yeah. So I think I was hinting at a little bit for the issues where it gets linked to that guest and reservation as well. So in our guest profile page on our ops platform, we've tagged it with the guest, basic guest information that we're getting from the PMS, any reservations that the guest has kind of made on that PMS, any issues that they've experienced, whether it was caused by them or by the unit having that issue before they checked in. And then all of the guest messages that we've previously had with them, any emails that we've talked with them, any SMS messages, any OTA messages that we've had kind of get funneled into one profile. And then from there, we can kind of run AI to get a summary on that guest. So the next time the guest comes, we can have like a 1 paragraph summary on, hey, this guest had so-and-so problems before. Let's make this guest happier this time and try to have him not experience the same issues.
Yeah, so it's not like you're finding out, oh wow, it's this guest's birthday. Let's make sure the toilet doesn't get blocked this time. So it's not like that. Okay, so it's just more to do with the guest's past experience and their feel about the stay and having to deal with you. So it's more that rather than
it's more of like it's less guest personal information and more of their kind of experience while they stayed with you the last time.
Yeah. And really, it's those little experiences like, the shower is blocked and I'm standing in a puddle when I'm having my shower. That is going to be, that might not be that 5th star that you might want to give a property. And that's not part of the guest communications. Oh, wow, I got a bottle of wine for my birthday. But that's another thing that I have to deal with every time I have a shower. So these operational aspects for the guest they are important. Yeah. Okay. So in terms of white label, so if I'm using your software and the guests are getting messages, your name's not on there anyway. It's my logo and it's through the systems and everything. It's my name. It's me, my brand.
That's correct. Yeah. So we just work through your WhatsApp channel if you have your own WhatsApp page. If you don't, we can help you create the WhatsApp business profile to start that messaging. It's through your Facebook page, your Facebook Messenger, through your phone number, SMS, and through your booking OTAs. So in terms of the guests, they don't see anything. It's just your employees will go into our system to review any issues, work orders, review any communications that the guest has had, and those kind of stuff.
Yeah. Look, when the AI is answering the guest question, I'm assuming this fully automated means that the AI is going to, tell them the answer. However, if they can't find the answer in the database, they do say, I don't know that, I'll be back in a minute, and find out.
Yeah. So our AI is designed so it only answers from the knowledge base.
Yeah.
And any answers that don't exist inside the knowledge base, they will just come back and say, hey, we don't have the answer to that. Either give me a minute or I can escalate you to a human who can actually help you with that information.
Yeah. And then when that sort of thing happens, that's a signal for the property manager to go, okay, I better include that in the database. So the knowledge base. So then this doesn't happen again. I don't be disturbed.
Right. Of course.
Okay. Yeah.
They always get feedback on whenever chat is escalated to a real human.
Yeah. And the other way, the semi-automated one, what exactly is that? Does that mean that the manager sees the message and then hits send? They don't have to write the message, but they just see it and hit send. They get
exactly. That's basically what it is. So I think in our current space of AI and its current stage and evolution, not everybody is comfortable with fully leaving AI to answer guest questions. So we've included the semi-automated mode where whenever a question comes in, it requires the manager to go in, double check the answer. And if they're happy with the answer, they can just press send. If they're unhappy with the answer, they can actually go and edit that message before it gets sent to the guest.
Okay. Now that edited message, does that sort of somehow get recorded in the background into the database, knowledge base?
It does. It also gets plugged into the guest or the AI's history. So whenever it's conversing, it also has a point of reference for that message.
Excellent. Okay, good. Now, how much does it cost for me to use your product, roughly?
Yeah. So we have 2 pricing tiers at this current point in time. So if one is only interested in the AI and the knowledge base needed to actually run the AI, it will be $2.99 a month per unit. So that's per room, with a monthly minimum of $200. And then if they want the full platform with the guest profiles, the issues and the tickets and all that kind of stuff, it would be $4.99 a month per unit with a monthly minimum of $250.
Okay, it's all very reasonable given that these are larger companies. And is there a contract to get going with AI and to get this all established? Would you want a contract or can it just go month to month?
So we have a month-to-month model that doesn't really require a contract, but there is an onboarding fee. So that might be a contract for some people to kind of get the money's worth. And then we're also offering a 30% discount if you sign a 12-month agreement.
Okay, that's good. Very good. Well, we've come to the end of the usual questions. Was there something about Dharma that we didn't touch on that we all should know about? Any other tips or features?
No, I think we went over all of the features that we wanted to go over. I think just one quick quirk that we haven't really gone over is how issues and work orders play with each other. Our ultimate goal there is, so we've seen a lot of property management companies kind of communicate through Slack for a lot of their issues. So our goal is for kind of like your offsite employees to stay in issues and your onsite employees to stay on the work orders. But the point of communications and all the activities are intertwined with each other. So our goal is to really, in that section of our platform, enable people to communicate between teams inside of our product instead of having to go out and communicate on Slack, where it's a lot harder to track what's happening and to run reports on the information that you're getting.
That's great. Really great. Okay, well, as I've said in past Startup Explained episodes, I really like supporting startups because, first of all, you know, you've got guts to go out and do this sort of thing on your own. Why not? Good on you. And as a property manager, if you do start with a startup and you come across something that you think this could improve your experience, then, you know, you're basically part of the growth of a platform and then you're helping design it. So I think everyone should always take a look at startups and definitely take a look at Dharma. And if you have any questions for Q, pop them in the comments below. I will have a link for Dharma in the description. Q, thank you very, very much for telling us all about Dharma and AI.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to catch up on ones you've missed, just head to thetexplainedseries.com. Or if you're short for time, you can head to thetechminis.com where you'll find extra short interviews. See you next time.